Live now. The pandemic has been taking a major toll on everyone's mental health. Of course, me and Craigie can attest to that. And so joining us today is Professor Wendell Abel from the University of the West Indies, who is here to talk to us about how we can cope. Professor, or as you say, we can say Prof, welcome.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so curfew and lockdown has been taking a major toll on our nation. A lot of people are suffering from anxiety. Some don't even know. Them just don't even know. they can't make heads or tails of most things. Can you tell us what are the signs and some tools that one can use to cope?
In fact, some people just tell you they feel away.
Yeah.
In fact, before I came on the program, somebody told me, boy, what I know is that I just feel low in spirit. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, a lot of people are anxious, feeling low in spirit, being locked and locked down for what? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. For lots of people, they feel like they're in a prison, locked away in their home, right? Can't go out. And it also causes some people to become depressed and sad and just restless at home. I also realize a lot of people tell me they have difficulty sleeping because, your routines are disrupted. So you're working at home and you're working continuously. It's not a situation where you get up in the morning, prepare yourself for work, have lunch, come back home. And so you don't know the difference between the day and the night, and sleep is just out of control and so on. So different people are affected differently, but the truth is all of us are impacted.
Definitely.
And this goes across the life cycle. The young children, it's difficult for them because, children need to play.
Yes,
and they need to go to school.
Yes,
And
yes.
can you imagine being locked away in the house?
Yes.
I mean, it's a prison for everybody. Older people who would probably be going to church or take a little walk down the road, or you go visit Miss Mary down the road, or difficult for everybody. And so a lot of people are having problems coping. And I think, earlier when you started the program, you kind of start the right way because you were questioning your own feelings. And I think that's an important point, that we have to learn, we have to deal with our feelings. Because we walk around with these anxious feelings, depressed feelings, low feelings, and name them. And importantly, to be able to express them, share your feelings with each other in the home environment. Because sometimes when we have these feelings and we're not dealing with them, they come out in inappropriate ways. We get irritable and just get on top of each other. So every now and then people just need to just sit down and say to each other, boy, I feel away or I feel low in spirit and not happy today, and see how you can work at that. So naming the feelings, it's okay. And it's also important for us to accept these feelings and remind ourselves that during periods of lockdown and curfews and all of that stuff, there are going to be many days when we're not okay. And so it's important for us to remind ourselves that it's okay to be not okay sometimes. And I'm going to repeat it. In fact, I want you guys to repeat it, It's okay, to be not okay sometimes.
To be not okay sometimes.
Very cool. We all have to remind ourselves that. So when we get in the low feelings, we don't just beat up on ourselves and punch ourselves. It's okay to be not okay at times. Mm-hmm. But having said all of that, how do we deal with all of this,
Right.
And I think it's so important for us as best as possible, because our routines and rituals have been disrupted, for us to, on a daily basis, establish as best as possible some routine. What I do, for example, I get up in the morning, I take my shower, I put on my clothes as if I'm going to work, yes? And I structure my day accordingly, right? And do the things that I have to do when I have to remain home. And the days that I have to go to work, then I go to work and do what I have to do. But put some routines. And of course, when it kind of get into you being inside the house, go out and do things as best as possible. Observing the protocol. Some people do their little gardening, some people cook, some people within the family setting, you can play football with your children
Yeah.
and do things, yes, within your orbit, yes?
Yeah,
You're
right.
smiling, so look like you do that to sometimes,
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Prof,
man. Yeah,
Yes?
man.
Prof, I want to ask you a quick question, right?
Yeah, man.
Now, there are those who have lost jobs and some who are not working, but you have other persons who have been continuously working, like me and Craigie. We've been
Yes.
continuously working. So for those essential workers, it has taken its toll. Now, what can we recommend to alleviate this anxiety that they may be facing?
And well, it's good that you're continuously working, mean that you're continuously making money. Good for you. And you need to be smiling.
No, no, I said working. I said working. I never, working.
but and essential workers like yourselves, you have to big up yourself because you're doing a great job, Yourselves, security forces, sanitation, transportation, the healthcare workers. The challenges that happen if you're exposed to all of this suffering and the sickness and the death and the news on a daily basis. After a while, it begins to take a toll on you, For some people, it can be traumatic, yes?
Yes.
And for some people, every day, especially the healthcare workers, you have to go to work and you have to be showing a certain amount of compassion. You get what we call compassion fatigue. And so people may go to hospital and they realize the healthcare worker, the nurse, not showing the emotion that she used to show. It's day in, day out, you just get emotionally drained and fatigued, and you get numb in the whole process. And of course, we're all at risk of getting burnout. So I hope you're all watching for signs of burnout, Yeah. And the burnout is that you get up, boy, some morning and you just not feel the energy to go to work, and you're just not motivated, and the drive is not there, yes? This is how it can take a toll on all of us, but especially the essential workers, right? Watch out for the burnout, watch out for the compassion fatigue. And then there's another one, that we call survivor guilt, when, especially in your circle, of probably a colleague who might be sick or have died, or a family or a friend, and you're kind of left behind. You sometimes struggle that, boy, what else could I have done? I could have done more. I could have helped them more,
Yeah.
And so people have to deal with this sometimes, the survivor fatigue. So the whole emotional experience varies. In fact, last year we did a study at the university looking at how people coping. And over 50%, almost 1 out of every 2 persons we talk said, boy, we feel anxious. And about another 1 out of every 2 persons we talk said, we feel depressed and we feel sad and down. And what was interesting is that almost everybody said, look, we need some sort of psychosocial support. So I want to congratulate you for discussing these issues, because the people out there asking for mechanism in terms of how to cope. And this takes me to another point, that it's so important for us all to take care of ourselves, yes? When you're on an aircraft and the flight attendant giving the security detail for those people who travel, right? Mm-hmm. The flight attendant said, look here, if there's a problem with the aircraft and the oxygen mask fall from the ceiling, you grab your own first and put over your nostril and take care of yourself. So we have to take care of ourselves first before we can take care of others, right? So I remind everybody, just take care of yourself physically, emotionally, so that you're well.
Awesome,
And
Professor.
as we go through the lockdown, though, you know what is important? Connection. You know why people listening to you today? Because they're able to connect to you, and you're connected to a lot of people, right?
Sure.
And we have to continue to connect to our family, friends, and everybody. So I want us to do this activity, all of us, including you in the studio.
We only have 1 minute
left. Your hand.
What we must do?
Stretch out your hand. We're going to send some energy across the universe and the globe as we connect with everybody. And I know the both of you can sing, so you have to go sing One Love. I can't sing.
What?
But sing the song. Send out the energy and sing One Love, man.
One heart. Let's get together and feel alright. I say one love. Talking about one heart. One heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's
That's the
get
vibe.
Oh,
We have to
together.
create the vibe, right? We just send
No,
out
me
the
no, me
energy and just one love and
I just mash up my
you
song, sir, Prof.
connect with everybody. What's that?
I just mash up my song, so we never do. A joke, a
Oh,
joke.
sorry, man.
Professor Abel, thank you very much for joining.
And the last point, let's continue to
Quickly, we
stay
have 2
positive.
seconds.
Stay
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 positive.
positive. Just be positive. Yes.
I
Very
like that.
important.
Always.
Yes.
One love.
One love.
Thanks, Prof. Thanks, Professor Wendell Abel. I mean, you're a breath of fresh air, and I respect that.
Yes, sir.
We feel ready. Daytime, we'll be right back, and we're watching a music video from Shibo and Georgia Smith. We're ready. One love. Talk about it.
Again, back here.
One.
What's it?